Hello. The Deluge using slow LFO to alter filter and resonance over time. This is a quick look for Bartholomew Rejowski on the group. So it's not going to be super musical, I don't think. We'll start by going to Song, New, Synth, New. So there we've got the beautiful voice of the new synth. We'll just drop it down by an octave. There we go. And we're going to look at the filter. So altering it over time, but instead of doing it with the fingers, do it with the LFO. So let's do a couple of things, which is firstly put a note in. There we go. And we'll just drop that down slightly shorter so it's not quite 4/4. Great. And go to attack. And we just want to put a bit of attack on there. Decay is fine. Drop it down to 40 on the sustain, and then have a release time. So now we've got, yep. Okay, that's done. Now filter. We go up here, frequency there. At the moment it's almost at the full. There we go. That's dropping down the frequency, if you can see that. So we've got, so if we leave that as a start, if you want to alter that over time, I press shift, go to LFO 1 there. Now that's flashing, and this is the amount of influence over time it has. So if I play this now with no influence, that's what it does. Start increasing the LFO amount, and then I can change the LFO speed. Yeah, so that's now changing it over time, and the slower you go, obviously the longer it takes to alter it. If we then go to the same, through the same sort of process, we can use the resonance for that particular voice. At the moment it's at 0. So we've got two things going on there. The resonance is staying still, but the frequency of the filter is changing because we altered it. So now to hear the sound difference, I'll go back to frequency, LFO 1, take that down to 0, and then we've just got the resonance now. And instead of doing that with our fingers, we'll just go to resonance, this where it says resonance there, you might not be able to see that, and then go over to, say, LFO 2. So we can have this at a different rate. So this will now change at the LFO 2 frequency of 25. So if we put that at 20, it's a triangle, so we'll change that to a saw. We've got LFO 1 on a saw, and the rate at 21. So if I drop that down to 15, so that's now a different rate to LFO 2. So now what we want to try and do is go to frequency modified by LFO 1 a little bit, resonance modified by LFO 2 quite a lot. Let's have a listen. Okay, so now if I change the frequency amount that changes with LFO 1, does that make sense? we do the same for the resonance, change the rate of the LFO now. So I've got what I meant to show there was the frequency is now being changed by a factor of 35 on LFO1, so shall we say 70%. LFO2, yeah, you can use LFO2 to do it as well, which is a bit weird. Resonance is being changed by LFO2, the amount is 30. So now what I'm going to do is change the speed of the LFOs whilst this thing's going on. So this is for frequency change. Now for resonance. So hopefully that'll show you how you do it. Then that's just for one note, fairly boring, but it gives you the principle at least that you can change the frequency with an LFO or random or any other source here that'll change it. So for example, if we put frequency, instead of being on LFO1, we can take that influence right down to 0. There we go. So now we've just got and we can now go to frequency, random, and now we can change it here. Don't forget you can go minus as well. And if we change the speed of the LFO, it won't have any effect because we're not actually changing it. I meant to change the speed of LFO 2. So we can also change the LFO speed with random, so we get this. So now you can see that those are all random, and because it's just one note it's very boring, but you can actually alter the pitch of the note over time as well. So we've got level there, transpose, which is, you know, if you change transpose it's, yeah, so if we do that and change that with LFO1 again, say, yeah, and then if we just drop the filter down a little bit, there we go. It's all doing stuff in the background, but that's using the all the different sources from LFO1, LFO2, random, and you can also use note and all sorts of stuff. So enjoy. I hope that's not too confusing, but that's how to do it. Quick recap then. Mute that. new line. Yep, so we've got that voice. Go to frequency and press LFO 1, and that will then modify the filter. Sorry. Put a note in. Frequency. Go to one of these LFOs, and then as you modify this, it'll change the frequency. If you want to change the speed of that, you would then change the setting on the LFO. And then if you want to further modify that one while it's flashing, press another source. I can't alter that one with another source. Oh, that's weird. Not done that before. Anyway, play. I don't know what I'm doing. Go find out.